Good morning, good morning, good morning. I really enjoyed my kiki with you all last night, but I came on this morning because I wanted to cover something I didn't get a chance to cover it last night because I was too busy giggling my brains out. But anyway, one of the most common questions that people have asked me is, when did you know to let go? It was the first time was like year six. Yeah, like year 6, and I just knew, like, this is not gonna work, and I let my mom know. I reached out to my mom, and I was like, "Mom, um, I think this is the best time for me to go ahead and call it quits on this. This isn't working out like I thought it would." And as usual, my mom was like, "Well, you need to pray about it. In marriage, you have to take the good with the bad. You're gonna have to learn how to be very prayerful about your marriage and patient. Just be patient, give him time. He's still young." And so because of that, that's part of the reason. The other reason is because of the culture of marriage and family in for my family. Number one, in our family, we deem divorce to be dishonorable. It is dishonorable. And we also deem it to be sinful in nature. So it for me to even say it to my mom was a big deal because we do not believe in marriage. I mean, divorce, excuse me. The third reason is because our family also have another belief that two shall become one. Okay. And what that means is in my family, they do not take sides. If you're having a conflict in your marriage, they are 100% on the side of the marriage, which the marriage belongs to God. That's how my family looks at it. And although those those values are positive and they're good, but they can cause someone to endure an unhealthy relationship far longer than they should have or they have to. And so I feel trapped. Like, okay, they're not going to take my side because that's just something we don't believe in. We believe in assisting the marriage and both of them simultaneously. Uh, and we don't believe in division. We don't believe in that. So it made me feel um, do whatever is necessary for it to work. Like you need to do, change, try whatever you have to in order to fulfill what God has purposed this marriage to be, and purpose for your life, and purpose for your husband. So that's a big deal for my family. Also, submitting to your husband in a manner of the submission of trusting him to be a leader, to assume responsibility as a man for his character, his conduct, his faith, his walk, um, his life. And my role is to unwavering, without question, to love him and commit to him, be loyal to him at all times, and trust his decision making. As my husband. So that's what I was raised to believe. So that was a lot of weight, a lot of pressure, and because of it, I stayed way too long to the point it started becoming very evident that it was starting to deconstruct me. It was starting to take me apart. And I didn't realize how bad I was being deconstructed until most people don't know about this. I told you part of the story, but I didn't tell you what she actually said. I only told you part of what she said. My mom was in the hospital, and my mom came in the room, and my mom said, "Who is that? Who is that?" Now, I'm her only daughter. I'm the only girl in my entire family. And she says, "Who is that?" And I'm like, "Mama, it's me." Like, what do you mean? It's me. And she said, "Come here, give me your hand. Come here, give me your hand right now." She said, whatever it is, this done gone too far. This done gone too far enough already. You can let go. I'm telling you, you can let go because anything that will cause you to harm yourself to this point, you got to let it go. It ain't nothing in this world worth you hurting yourself for. Let it go. Let it go. And I understood what she was talking about. My marriage. She was talking about my marriage. She had never, uh, of course, she's not okay with divorce and everything. So, uh, at that point, I knew. And then it took me an additional 5 years before I really, really, really made a conscious decision that this is what is necessary. I cannot ignore what is there. I can no longer ignore the character and behavior of this person. I can no longer hold on to what he did not fulfill. I can no longer um, pray and intercede for somebody to have something and be something they don't want to be and something they don't believe, right? And so that's not a matter of bashing him to say, "Oh, he wasn't man enough for me," or "Oh, he wasn't good enough for me." No, it's not that. It's not that. It is the spiritual aspect of being with someone who truly are not a believer, but did present himself that, yeah, I believe in that. I believe in that. Yeah, I believe, and it wasn't true. It wasn't true. It was all deception. And so the reality is that if you're not a believer, your life will show fruits of it. Your life will show fruits of it. Number two, when someone don't want to take themselves to the cross, you'll put yourself in a position that you end up in the wrong position of hanging yourself on that cross. What I mean by that is you're always sacrificing, you're always giving, you're always trying, you're always forgiving, you're always patient, you're always kind, you're always giving, and always giving grace no matter what. And in reality, when someone misinterpret those gifts, they hurt those who are providing those gifts. They take you for granted. They take your love, your honor, your loyalty, your respect, and all that you're providing to them. They take it for granted because their nature is not like yours. They're selfish in their nature. They're prideful in their nature. And those things, they attempt to hide them with materialism, basically trying to introduce outward idols because they already have deemed themselves to be an idol. What I mean by that is deeming themselves to be the receiver, being the idol, you see. And any man or any person who really have a walk of faith, they're not okay being anyone's idol at all, because they understand the frailty of humanity and the frailty of their own existence. You get what I'm saying? So that was, and I knew it was so conflicting for me. I remember this was my initial sermon. I have to talk about that another day too. How um, my marriage, my husband started doing things to sabotage my life and ministry, and it did cause me to push back from it, walk away from it, because it got down to the point of even ministry cannot come before him. I cannot allow this to come before him. Like, I cannot allow anything to be more of a priority than he is at any time. That's just how I was as a wife. And so it was certain things that he was doing to sabotage it, which made me question, like, am I really purposed to do this? Am I really called to do this? Because if my husband don't see it, my husband not supporting it, even though all of these signs, wonders, and miracles are taking place, if he's not in agreement with this, then maybe Maybe it's not what I'm supposed to do. Maybe that's not who God called me to be. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Because the primary place I'm supposed to serve is within a marriage. So maybe it's not. And so because of that, I walked away from ministry. I did. And so because of that, I have um, relegated myself to I will help on the outskirts, if that makes sense. I will help on the outskirts. I will help. Excuse me, give me one moment. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I came in here. But I will help on the outskirts. I will help on the fringe. I will do what I can, if that makes sense. But I will not um, assume full capacity because still a part of me feels like maybe it's not true. I still feel that way, if that makes sense. And that's a part of me that was breached or compromised um, within the marriage. So it's still a part of me that of course you're seeing yourself and you're like, hold on one second, with and through the eyes of your husband. And so, but those eyes are a husband that exalt himself higher than God because he's faithless. You get what I'm saying? He only believes in getting what he want out of people just by smoke and mirrors via materialism. And he has already always known that's not something I believe in. So even though I have excess, even though I have access to a lot of things, and he understands that's never been a priority for me. That's never because I always saw it as that's just basic. You get what I'm saying? That's part of God's grace in your life. So therefore you shouldn't worship it because it's here today, gone tomorrow, and he'll manifest it again in a different way. But what was most important to me is the fruits, being the fruits within your eternal man, your soul, your spirit. And you know, if you don't stop bothering me, girl, I'm sorry, y'all. I guess I'll go ahead and start answering these emails and stuff because, honey, I thought I shouldn't have came in here, but I forgot that uh, they do a form of Thanksgiving there, but it's not our kind of Thanksgiving. So they're starting to reach out. But that basically, I just wanted to share with y'all why, because a lot of people were like, "What is it? What is it?" And it was hard because he started becoming resentful, looking down at really my values. The very same things that led to me being honorable, respectful, submissive to him. And so when it was done, he became something that I still don't recognize. He is just extremely angry, but I have to remember that the anger he's expressing now was always inward anger, and it has always manifested itself in different ways through his behavior and his statements. So now it's just I have free reign to just really, really say what I why what I have always wanted you to say and how horrible of a person I want you to feel at all times. So when I made that comment about you cannot be with someone who excuse me, hold on one second, who resent your light because they don't have it. One day I will upload a text. Now this is after we're done and everything, like I'm done. And he sends me this text message, and he's talking about how thank you so much for teaching me what it's like to love people, just what it looks like, what it feels like, and how we're supposed to be that way. And then another time he made a statement, it was so weird. He said, have you ever noticed that y'all family, y'all always tell each other, hey, I love you. Y'all are always hugging and kissing each other and saying, I love you so much and mean it. And it didn't dawn on me, this is foreign to him. There were other instances as well, but those two, um, and it made me realize he wasn't cultivated in love. And there was not enough anything about me to change that. No matter what I tried, no matter what I gave, um, no matter it didn't matter. It didn't matter because he was parented to believe you don't need to feel nothing. No, all you gotta do is have some money and people do whatever you want them to. You can treat them any kind of way you want to, and they'll take it because they need money from you. This is why I have always really strongly emphasized to women, do not fall for that because it's a dangerous trap. And please understand, I didn't need him for money. I keep saying it. I didn't need him for money, and I definitely didn't marry him for money because he didn't have anything. Let me say this real slow. He didn't have anything, no education, no employment, no vehicle, no like you don't understand. He didn't have absolutely positively nothing. And I just saw it as my responsibility because before then we were just friends. I just knew him in passing, and then it just turned into something else. But I think he started explaining to me what was going on with him, some things that he had been through. Um, I deemed that as he needed somebody who would really, really be there for him and always be there for him, never give up on him, never walk away from him, always, always, always be there. And that's what I did. That's what I did. So uh, I hope that answers your question. Y'all have a beautiful day in every way. I thank you for listening. And I thank you for being a part of this journey. Um, I decided, in the very beginning, when I knew we were starting to go ahead and just resolve and dissolve all of this, that I was going to be very transparent about what this process has been like, the good, bad, and different. I can't say the entire process was hellacious or it was all him because I clearly said that it changed me. Right? So if you're encountering that, no, you're not going to stay smiling pixie dust, skipping through flowers. You become angry as well. You become frustrated as well. Um, and you become frustrated and angry and trapped and confused. And that manifests itself in words and behaviors. And I don't deny that. I never will. I never will. So no, as a human being, I was not able to endure that and remain literally like I'm a deity or something. I'm not. I'm human. I touch dirt like everyone else. So I don't want you to take away from this that I'm saying, oh, him, him, him. I am saying to you that I was in hell and it changed me and it showed through behaviors, attitudes, all of that because I just refused to break my promise of letting him go. Never letting him go, never walking away from him, never giving up on him. And that was to my own detriment. And then, like I said, that manifests itself in behaviors, words. And I mean, once I knew I was done, I just completely shut down. Like I was just numb. I just stopped talking. I don't have nothing else to say. I don't have nothing else to give. I've done my best. I've done my best. And I just pray that the God I love and I trust and believe forgives me. That's 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 something I ask for every day. Still. So sorry, I got a frog in my throat. Um, Still to this day, I ask for forgiveness. I do. I do. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't. I couldn't. So I and of course there were other behaviors he exhibited as well, but even though we're done, please understand there's still a part of me that believes in I would never ever never fully uncover him, meaning expose things that I know um, that may cause him shame or ridicule. Um, no, I will never do that. No. No. I just no. That's not who I am and that's inappropriate. You know, even though you're done, that doesn't mean that that's the time for you to start hurting someone. I just don't believe in that. I just don't. So um don't take it as, oh, we're gonna get to you, we're gonna get the ins and outs. No, even though it's done, it's resolved, there are still some parts of that are very sacred, and I will always protect. That's not a matter of protecting him, that is a matter of protecting the covenant. I kind of think of it like putting it within a time capsule and it's being buried, or, it's still, you know, it's resolved, but that's not that's not how I am as a person. And that's not something I will ever do. And I've never done. And a lot of people have asked me, like, he's doing this, this, and this. What girl, if I were you, you better. And I'm like, that's him. I've never been that way. That's not who I am. That's you don't know where that's coming from with him. I know where that's coming from. He does not, and he's afraid that I'm going to start really rolling out what really, really happened. That terrifies him. So this is what he's doing to insulate himself, because you have to remember he has always been a person that knew how to insulate himself in a manner that you're trapped and you're silent. So anybody say anything, what are you going to do about it? You're not, that's just how strategic he is. So I had to explain to them this is one of the behaviors he has always exhibited to protect himself from being dead center, opposed to I'm a person that live my life dead center. I don't run from things. I press into my pain. I press into my shortcomings. I press into my faults. I lean into them so that I can be healed and delivered from them. Whereas what works for an idolater doesn't work for me. All right. So I say all that for a reason, that if that's what you're expecting from this journey, then you will be sorely disappointed. It is in this process. I hope that you learn. I hope that you learn from my good, bad, indifferent, my laughter, my tears, my transparency, and my journey. You know, I think doing this will, I hope it helps someone. I hope it does. I just hope, always, I hope, and I believe. I believe. I can't wait to read your comments. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful Thanksgiving. I will not be back, but I did want to answer this question that I have been asked um, countless times, countless times. And I just want to finally give an honest answer. I love you all. Thank you so much for listening. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful holiday weekend. And above all, be thankful for who you are and how God created you, and be thankful for those who truly and genuinely love you. Take care. Bye. Bye.